Hi, my name is Callum and I'm a full-time self-employed musician and guitar player. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why it's so important to be diversified as a full-time self-employed musician. So in my career, I do many different things. So I'm not relying on one source of income to supplement everything. I have multiple streams. So at different times of the year, some of them will be more busy and different times of the year, they might be less busy, but they all balance out. So I'm having consistent income throughout the year. I'm not having to worry about January, for example. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is teaching. So this could be one-on-one in a school or at someone's house or even online over Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So I've been teaching since 2016 and now it makes a good at least 50% of everything that I make. And it acts as like the bread and butter and a massive foundation of all my income. What's good about teaching for me is that, say I had no gigs or there was something that happened and there can be no gigs for a whole year, I can rely on teaching solely and not having to worry about anything else. I know I can pay for absolutely everything and still be living happy and doing what I love and not have to get like another job to supplement income loss. Obviously for this, you probably want to have a car so you can go to people's houses more direct, as public transport can be really inconvenient and very time consuming. A downside of this is that during the holidays, you can get a little bit of a drop off, so people are either away or you can't do your school teaching, obviously. So you either want to make sure that you're charging a good enough rate so it can take this into account, or have other streams of income to supplement in this time. The other thing I do, which I'd say if I was to think as teaching as the first 50%, the other 50%, even though I have other things, would be functions such as corporate events and weddings. The second thing I'm going to talk about is functions. So this could be corporate events or weddings. So if I was to categorize like my teaching and functions, these are the two main things that supplement my income. And with functions, I'm quite diversified in that. So I don't just rely on one function band or one function agency. I'm in a few different agencies and a few different bands, and also dep in a few different bands as well. So this means that I'm constantly getting new work to fill the calendar, and say if one becomes a little bit quiet, say they don't get as many bookings in a year, as maybe clients don't have as much budget, then I have another one which can hopefully fill in those gaps. Also, playing a few different bands just keeps you fresh on your feet, builds your network, playing with different musicians. Everyone plays songs slightly differently as well. So it's just enhancing your musicianship. And I felt this has helped me grow as a musician and also build up my confidence playing with people for the first time, for example. And with this, some people might be like, oh, well, I want to play for an artist, for example. But the reality is, literally everyone plays functions. It's something that you're going to have to do, regardless of where you are. Most people that I know still play functions. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is artist shows. So I absolutely love doing this, and it's given me great opportunities playing in different countries, on television, and in front of large audiences. This is the thing that gets me really excited about playing the guitar, and with having teaching and functions, these add some flexibility. So say if you have this really cool opportunity that comes up, you can usually move some of those things so you can do that opportunity and take advantage of that. I know some people that can get in with a really good artist and they can sort them out for absolutely months, and they'll be touring and having a great time and earning great money from it. And so if you get that, that's absolutely great. I'm yet to get something like that where I'm away for months and months. That's something that I've always really loved to do, but I'm sure those things will come in the future. But in the meantime, it's important. That's why you have all your other income streams, so it can supplement in those times. And sometimes as well, people come back from their tours and then their work's gone quiet because the work they had has gone away. And so that's why it's always important to be on your feet, trying to keep everything going, say you're teaching and your other function bands. Another thing I do is studio work. So again, I absolutely love doing this. And whether this is online or in the studio in person, especially if it's with friends or people I've worked with before, this is one of my favorite things to do, especially when you get to create your own parts or put in your own ideas. It's just such a, inclusive experience. And this doesn't happen too much. Like, it's a good few times a year, and especially if it's like a whole day of recording, I always just get so much joy from doing it. Sometimes, for example, if you work with a certain producer or artists and they really like what you do on the first time, they might book you again if they need another guitar player to, do some more work for them. Another thing I did was group classes and workshops. And I have to say, this was something that I didn't enjoy as much, but I did it because I really needed the money at the start. And I also found it a little bit overwhelming teaching loads of people in one go. But I used to do this a little bit at my uni for, I think it was called BIM Academy. And it was fun, but I always felt a little bit overwhelmed at the time. And also a guitar club at a school. And again, there was just so many children, and trying to teach them all at once and all different abilities, I found it really hard to manage. Workshops, however, I found quite fun. I've not really done this that often, but I've done it a few times in schools. And it was just something about talking to students that were excited about music and potentially might have wanted to do what you do when you get older, and being able to inspire them. And I found this quite a rewarding experience. And so I didn't find this as overwhelming because people are there more just listening and then asking questions, and you're not really doing any teaching. Another area I'm going to talk about is residencies. So this could be in bars, hotels and restaurants. And this is really good at filling your midweek evening calendar, even though the rates for these can be a little bit lower. But because of how regular it's going to be and it being in the midweek, this is really good at filling that time. And say if you don't want to teach as much, if you can get these in your calendar, it means you can supplement that so you're playing more gigs. Another thing I'm going to talk about is theatre and tribute shows. So this can be playing in the pit for like a musical, or tribute shows such as I used to play in a Lady Gaga tribute show, David Bowie, 80s, glam rock, soul show. And these could be great because you can play in some nice theatres, or if you're doing reading gigs, it gets your experience up, and it definitely helped me and push my reading ability. This is good as it gives you some more variety. Say if you're not booked on a function, you can book that time, or if you get theatre work, and if you get a contract, I know people that have them, and it means they can book themselves for like a whole year and then dep out when they need to. So this could be really good as like bread and butter. Sometimes I found these quite hard work and a lot of prep, especially as I wasn't a naturally born reader. I was much more trained by using my ear, so I felt I had to put a lot more prep to get to a certain standard. Also, some of the music, especially in certain musicals, I don't enjoy as much, and so I found I was kind of forcing myself to do this and didn't get the full enjoyment. So something that's been offered to me a few times but I've not really done is cruise ship contracts. And again, there's many different options for this. You can do 6 months or lower, like few weeks. The times where it's came up, it's just been for I've already been booked on many different things and it wouldn't have made sense to cancel what I already had. So, but some people do this and absolutely love it, and their readings also got really good because a lot of this is sight reading. So I'm yet to experience this, but you also get to see a lot of the world. So if you really like traveling, this is great. So the final thing, which is something I'm trying to work on at the moment, is social media. So using YouTube, TikTok, and also making my own teaching agency, as there's only so much time you can trade, and so it's about leveraging your skill on the internet and trying to give that value to someone else. So I know some people that do this, and this makes a big lot of their income, or even a small amount of their income. But yeah, I used to know a few people that would create loads of TikToks or Instagram reels, and this would supplement lots of their income, as well as they'll get maybe little endorsements here and there. So to summarize, it's really important to have multiple streams of income so you can be consistent throughout the year and not having to worry about if one of them becomes less busy, because you know your other areas are going to supplement for that. And so you might have certain times of the year which become really, really busy, but it means you just earn a lot more. And so then you can take a bit more time off in quieter periods. So I hope you found some use in this video and something you could take away from it. Or if you're thinking about becoming a self-employed musician, then it will give you a bit of an insight on different areas you can do and try and work towards to building a full-time self-employed career. Please like and subscribe to the channel and comment anything below that you might want to see, and I'll see you in the next video.